Hi guys, welcome to another WeirdoClown.com review. Today I'll be reviewing the PlayStation 4 camera. So this camera is specifically designed for the PlayStation 4. So basically I'll just be going over the basics for you. As always, I will try and make this a quick review. As I said, it's not something that requires an extensive review, but we will go into as much detail as we can, so let's get started. So to begin with, obviously looking at the design of the device, as you can tell, it is quite a sleek and rather thin design. Obviously the previous PlayStation camera, which came for the PS3, was similar to the one that you used to get for the the iToy on the PlayStation 2. So they've gone for it's similar to a Kinect camera, effectively. Instead of, obviously it gives you better resolution effectively, so you get much better quality with this particular camera here. I mean, in relation to how it performs, the facial recognition and the way it tracks your movement is pretty much spot on. Pretty much on par with the Xbox Kinect. Obviously, when I did have the Xbox with the Kinect, you know, I'm finding it is pretty similar, if not the same as that, really. You know, obviously there's the case that people would argue that the Kinect's potentially better because obviously that came first, but effectively that's you know, something for you guys to decide, really. But I'd pretty much say it is on par with the Kinect, really. It's definitely something that, you know, it's not a necessary component to have for the PlayStation 4. It's more of a gimmick, to be honest with you, but we'll get into that later on in the video. So let's have a look at how it performs. Hi guys, so this is basically what the camera itself looks like. So as you can see, I'm doing the commentary over the video itself. I didn't want to record the sound through the camera, as I thought you might not be able to hear me as clearly. So yeah, basically, as you can see there, giving you a little wave. But I'm just going to be testing out the playroom, which is an application used for the PS4, specifically for the PlayStation 4 camera. So it's a good application to be using, really, and it does actually show off the camera itself. So as you can see, I've chosen Ninja Bots, which is similar to Temple Run if you played that on like an iPhone or Android device. Basically, you control it via the sensor on the controller there. So if you just see with what's in my hands there, the controller, the actual blue sensor bar, that actually controls the actual what the game itself. So you know, you tilt the controller to go left and right, etc., etc. Tilt the controller up, it will then jump. And obviously, what with the disc, as you can see going there, that's basically me swiping the touchpad. So it's quite a fun little game, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not something that you'll be playing non-stop, but it's always something to do when you've got some friends over, or you know, if you're just a bit bored and you want to, you know, showcase the camera, really. I mean, with this, it's more, I want to say it's more of a gimmick, but you know, it has got some gaming aspects to it. I mean, it's not like a serious game, you know, like Call of Duty or, you know, GTA, games that you play, you sit down for hours upon then, you know, trying to complete, or, you know, just having a good time online, really. But it does show what the camera is capable of. I mean, the response time and how responsive the controller is via the sensor bar to the camera is just spot on. I was really impressed when I first got this over a year ago, just with how responsive it actually is. I mean, this didn't come out originally, this Ninja Bot game, but this is something that they have introduced, and I know that Sony have got plans, you know, to introduce some other games. So it's always worthwhile having a look at it, you know, having a little play around first before you do buy anything. So I mean, if you just have a, you know, watch this with as we go through this, you can see what it is capable of game-wise. It's definitely something that, you know, I'll definitely look into getting. I mean, price-wise, I got this for £50 when it first came out, but you probably might be able to get this cheaper now on Amazon, for example. Probably not a lot cheaper than £50, but between the £30 to £50 region, or if you're in America, that's around about $40 to $70. So overall, it's not what I'd say is an expensive device. So yeah, as I said, I mean, it's not necessarily an expensive device, but it is expensive for effectively what you'd be using it for. I mean, it is quite gimmicky. I know, as I said, it's not hugely gimmicky, but it's not something that you'd necessarily need in order to game. You know, it's not one of those necessary components you have. I mean, obviously Xbox, they forced having a Kinect with the Xbox, and obviously there was a big backlash with that, so they're now introducing the console without that. The best thing about Sony is that they don't force accessories that you don't need, so it's always an optional, so you don't, not forced to ever buy these. And I know a lot of games won't be introducing camera play into them, the serious main games out there. I mean, obviously some of the indie games that might be coming out, might in future have PlayStation 4 camera compatibility, which I think would be interesting aspects to have. I just don't think it's going to take off hugely, but review-wise, as I said, this is why we're here. It is definitely something that I would, recommend if you are wanting to use a camera or just see what it's like. Really, as you can see here, this is just running smoothly. The controller is, apart from the little glitch there, the controller is responsive to the camera, so there's no issues in that sense. I've had no issues with the camera disconnecting. It runs smoothly. It's perfect in that sense. There's no issues with the way it's controlled. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I would definitely look into. I know I'm saying definitely a lot there, but if it is something that you're wanting to potentially look into getting, especially for games like this, it is something I recommend. I mean, obviously this is only a small mini game, so there's much more involved with the camera itself, which you'll see shortly here. Obviously here, as you can see here, we'll just finish the game, so there I am doing a little, I don't know what I was doing there. I mean, this is a cool little feature of the NinjaBot game. I know it's only small, but look, as you can see there, I'm collecting the coins up and throwing them in the air, and as you can see, they're incredibly responsive. I mean, if you compare this to when it was, back in the day with the iToy, you'll notice that it's pretty similar. So yeah, this is basically a segment that will show off the camera itself. Obviously the NinjaBot game was just to show how responsive the controller was with the camera. This is like a fun little gimmicky sort of part of the PlayStation 4 camera. You can have lots of fun with this, especially if you've got some friends around. Now, I haven't showed the full capacity of the playroom, because this is merely just to show what the camera's like and what the review is. I mean, picture quality wise, it is very clear. It's not Crystal HD or 4K Ultra, which is something that you're probably not going to get for another couple of years on a console. But it is definitely worthwhile having a look at this. I mean, as you can tell, it is definitely worthwhile. So get down to the ratings now. So you've seen what the controller's able, what the camera's able to do. Sorry. So you've seen very briefly there the quality of the camera. I mean, we'll go through some ratings now. So these are WeirdoClown.com ratings. Now we do ratings out of 5. So for price, I'll probably give this a 4.5. I mean, for the quality of the camera and what you're getting, it definitely is worth the price that it does retail for. Obviously, people would want it cheaper, but if you're going to have it at a cheaper price, then the quality would be compromised. Durability, it's a durable camera. It's going to have to be a 5. I've had no issues with it. It's the casing itself is quite hard in that sense. It's quite strong material. Although it is plastic, it is fully adjustable as well. So you've got the option to adjust the actual angle of the camera. I mean, overall quality wise, picture quality, I'm going to give that 4 out of 5. It could be better, but for what you're getting, it's definitely a good price. So it's definitely something I would highly recommend.